Hello, welcome to Eco Tarot. This is Kensley, the Eco Tarotist, and I am so excited that you're here. Oh, I am very excited. This reading is for Aries, and I hope you're having a good week. I've decided to do something different that I don't know if I've seen around, but we're going to do a check-in with your chakras, and I'm going to pull cards for each chakra. I was trying to just pull one, but a couple of chakras had a couple, so we'll just go with it. And then kind of read your energies along your chakras individually, and then kind of read it as a whole for your for this coming month. And I really want to make sure that these readings are timeless, so I'm really not gonna focus on timing so much as just more, this is the energy. If you come across it, it's meant for you. Early on, I pulled Between Worlds and the Otter Spirit, You're Never Alone. And I think this is really interesting because Between Worlds is, you know, when you think of flamingo, you think of the one, you know, the foot up with one down. And I think of it as one foot in the water and one foot up in the air. And it's very reminiscent of in between where you've been and where you're going. So I think this is a very transitional reading for you, or it's a very transitional phase for you. And then yet you also have this Otter Spirit, You're Never Alone, which is, it's a very friendly, likable reading. It's very, I mean, some people call it as, you know, it's love and da-da-da because it's in the shape of a heart, but it's also kind of like give your spouse some attention, some tactile. It's a very tactile card. So let's just see how this plays out. So I've gotten really into drawing my own cards if I don't happen to have them. So I'm like, might as well just draw them. So let's start off with the root chakra. And for your root chakra, you got the 10 of Pentacles from behind. And the root chakra is actually about stability. It's about being grounded. It's prosperity. If you're in balance, you've you're healthy physically. You know, there's trust. There's prosperity, as I mentioned. When you're out of balance, there's kind of either a deficiency of so there might be fearfulness, or you might be underweight, or spacey, and then excessive balance or excessive root chakra is more on the lines of obesity and greed and materialism and things like that. I find that very interesting to kind of understand what's in balance versus what's outside of balance. And you get the 10 of Pentacles, and that's pretty much, I mean, as grounded as possible, as prosperous as possible. I think this is one of the most stable cards possible. So, and even though it's from the backside, I even like that better than just the old man with the dog, because this is respect as well. It's funny how a couple readings ago, in the context of the cards, I really was like, those trust fund babies are so ungrateful. And now I'm like, no, it's just straight up trust. And so I like that. I think that your root chakra is on par. I think you got the child for the Lenormand deck. I'm kind of mixing Lenormand and tarot, and that's kind of an experienced or innocent, or there's new beginnings. And I kind of feel like it's not necessarily inexperienced, because I really feel like this is This is a very mature energy, and so I kind of feel like this is more new beginnings in established prosperity, established maturity, established stability. So I think your root chakra is rocking it. For the tower, for the sacral chakra, you got the Fool from behind, and the sacral chakra is kind of the center for creativity. It's if you're in balance, it's healthy sexually. It's healthy pleasure, healthy feeling, fluidity. When you're out of balance, you either are too shy, intimidated, or timid on one end, or you're sexually addicted on the other. So it's more creativity and sexually focused energy. And you get the Fool, which I think you're starting a new beginning. And you got for the Lenormand, you got the Tower. And this Tower card is not the Tower of the tarot deck. It's more authority, ego, loneliness, solitude, and arrogance. And I think that's what you had been in your sacral chakra. I think there was loneliness and solitude and a little bit of too much ego involved. And I think you're starting out on a new journey with that. And that's a wonderful thing. I think you've decided that you are maybe not going to approach your next relationship or your life moving forward with some this standoffishness, which is what I get from the Tower, of just let me be in my ego and my arrogance and my I'm going to be up in my tower by myself. Instead, you're like, no, I've decided that's not really working for me, and I think I'm going to find a new beginning in a new approach. So I think the sacral chakra is a very new beginning, but exciting change from what you've dealt with in the past. Your solar plexus chakra is something. It's an energy of self-esteem, actually. I don't know if this is, sorry, it's not focusing very well. It's digestion, but it's transformation. It governs your ability to see both inner and outer dimensions. Let's see. Vitality, strength of will, purpose, self-esteem, visionary. When you're in balance. When you're out of balance, it's too little of the sacral, and you've got rigidity, emotional numbness, and stagnation. Too much sacral, and you've got overly emotional, dominating, controlling, aggressive, and scattered. Kind of like what I consider as wildfire. And so this is self-esteem. This is the fire part of you. And you got two cards for this. You got the Star from behind and the Three of Wands from behind. And I think that's really interesting that, to me, this Star from behind is like, you wanted wishes and you will receive wishes. And this is all of the wishes coming down, raining down on you with this cosmic man in the background. Like, this is happening. And in terms of confidence, and I think that there's some help from the cosmos. And I also think that of this as manifestation. This is not just planning, and you know, Two of Wands is planning, Three of Wands is like waiting for those plans to come in, and manifesting in a I think this is an orb of fire and water, I think. I don't know. But to me, it's, I think, success here. And this wishes are not just, you're not just wishing for it, it's coming in. And it's accompanied by the ring from the Lenormand deck, which is commitment, partnership, promise, and contracts. And so I'm trying to, and I love the Lenormand. I'm just starting to get into it, but I love that it's very, you know, tarot can be very interpretive, and it's all about the imagery and what it means at the moment in context with everything else. And Lenormand's just like straight up, no, it's marriage, you know, it's ring, marriage contract. So I'm trying to think of this in terms of self-esteem and that solar plexus energy. And I think there's this new beginning in your sexuality and your confidence in sexuality. And I think that there's a part of that is this new beginning in a relationship. I do. And I think that this was wish fulfillment. And I think that this is confidence in manifestation of that wish fulfillment for the solar plexus energy. I don't know if this is going to work, but for your heart chakra, you had 3 cards. The Four of Cups from behind, the 8 of Swords looking straight on, and the Queen of Wands looking straight on. You can see that. And your heart chakra is very interesting. So there was a, you got the anima, or the woman card for the Lenormand, from the Lenormand deck. And I see this, it's very interesting to me that, so heart chakra is all about intuition and understanding, being, you know, the vulnerability, compassion of it all. If you're in balance, you've got self-acceptance and solid relationships. If there's too little heart, you're shy and lonely, isolated, bitter. If you've got too much heart, there's codependency, jealousy, possessiveness, not very, you know, poor boundaries. And so I see this anima as, or this woman, if you're a female, this is you. If you're not a female, then it's the inquiring partner, or the nearest female that you know of, really. But I love that it's like, woman. If you're a woman, it's woman. It's you. It's just no room for interpretation on that. So this is truly about, okay, so I'm going to just, maybe let's assume that this is you, if you're a woman. If it's not, reverse the roles. But as I see it, this is you. And you are this person. And I see that you are not looking, you're stuck in your head. You're not looking outward towards your salvation, or you're letting that boat go by, and you're just sitting on the beach, just like, yeah, Yeah, there's my salvation. There's my saving ship. It's going by, and I don't know. But it's a very I feel like your heart chakra is defeated in the fact that it's not it feels trapped on a desert island. Wow, that's what it really does feel like, that you feel trapped on this desert island, and that was gonna save you, and it's going on by, and you feel stuck, and you want to be this Queen of Wands within you to open up your heart. But look at this. They're the same, it's the same woman. Can you see that? And look at this. The Queen of Wands has her eyes closed voluntarily, just like the Eight of Swords has her eyes blinded. It's like she transferred from Eight of Swords, and this is her still, and she's still, and it's like she's still stuck in her mind. And it's all about perspective. It's like you are not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You feel stuck in this heart chakra energy where you're scared to be vulnerable. You're scared to be to accept yourself, and you even if you do come out of that, even if you do come out of that into her, you're still closing your eyes, like you're stuck. You're still stuck, even as a queen. Even if your heart chakra gets through all this, and you're the most badass person ever, you're still stuck inside regarding your heart chakra. Ooh. And that's not a bad thing. This is all, if it's negative, it's not necessarily negative. It's more just helping and guiding, and like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about this? I think you need to trust in that you're never alone, and that if you're with somebody, your partner, I think you need to reach out and give them affection. And I think that is going to open up a whole new world with you guys. And if you're not with someone, then I think that you need to be seeking something that has a very loving, tactile, affectionate relationship. Because you're still in transition. You're still in transition from one world to the next, from really unconsciousness to consciousness. And in that transition, you're not going to have sometimes access. It's interesting. It's like some chakras are going great and some chakras are not. And I think that's part of life. I think that's everybody. But your heart, I find this so fascinating, that she truly sets herself free, but still is closed. I don't want to say closed-minded, maybe, or just still feels stuck. She still feels stuck inside her head, even when she's free, even when she's moved on. This is like a memory, and she's remembering this experience, and then this experience of that feeling of isolation on a deserted island from love. Oh man. But you're never alone. And so with your throat chakra, you have the 7 of Wands from the backside. And then you also have the house. So this is very interesting to me. So you have the house as the Lenormand card. And so the throat chakra is all about speech and expression. And if you're in balance, you've got clear communication, creativity, and resonance. If you're deficient in the throat chakra, there's fear of speaking or poor rhythm. If you've got too much and there's an excessive amount of throat chakra, there's an inability to listen, and there's stuttering, or excessive talking, whatever. It's like, it's just on the complete other spectrum. And so communicating your voice, I truly believe that, so this card to me, I love the 7 of Wands. I really do. Some people really think of it as defensiveness, but I'm always like, no, it's defending yourself. It's standing up for yourself. It is, you know, I mean, it could be defensive, like, ooh, protective of yourself, but normally it's like, yeah, standing up for yourself, except you got the backside. And look at that. The backside is like, wait a second. This feels like this has been buried in the sand for a long time. Like, all of this shit has been there for a long time, and it's night, and you're still standing vigil, and you're still just like, I'm gonna go protect myself. This is a protective card to me. Defensive. That you're like on guard. But this has been for a long time. It's like the fight is over, and you have, you're still holding strong to it. And I think that's interesting that it came with house. The fight, you've had a domestic, you've spoken your truth, and because it's the throat chakra, you've stood your ground in a situation, and you are not budging, and it's been a long time. And it's with a domestic situation, immediate family kind of thing. So I do think that, I think this is an excessive part of the throat chakra, that maybe you're not listening, maybe you're standing your ground and sticking just adamantly to your views or your decision or whatever. You know, you won, and you're sticking to it in some argument or some battle, huge battle. And I think there's still this transition. I think there's this softening in you, because the third eye is next, and that comes with the Hanged Man from behind and the Bear from the Lenormand deck. And again, I went crafty on myself this past weekend, and I was like, I don't have my own Lenormand deck, and I could buy one, but guess what? I'm gonna make one. And so I decided just to use like black and silver and yellow, and every card has black, silver, and yellow in it. And I love it. I'm like, I don't care that it looks like a cartoon. I don't care. Like, I'm really proud of myself that I could draw a fucking bear. I don't know. I mean, even if it does look like if it's out of a children's cartoon book, I don't know. But what the bear represents, though, is power, leadership, strength of character, boss, and dominance. And this third eye we're talking about is all about intellect, intuition, deepest wisdom. And if you're in balance, you know, there's psychic perception, there's accurate interpretation, there's imagination, there's clear seeing. When you're in a deficit of the third eye, you've got poor memory, poor vision, unimaginative, you're in denial. An excessive amount of the third eye is headaches, nightmares, delusions, just difficulty concentrating. And so I loved this card, that it's the Hanged Man, but he's now the teacher of the two people who are a part of the Hierophant card. And they were trying to learn from the Hierophants, and now they've moved on to the Hanged Man. And they're letting go of the dogmatic structures and limitations associated with the Hierophant. I'm sorry, it's true. And they're learning to appreciate the night sky and the cosmos and what might be. And look, because that's the Hierophant's mask is down here and broken, and then the Hierophant snake is down instead of up on, I can't remember what it was, a column or a pole or something, and now it's on the ground like it's free. Knowledge, and snakes are usually so scary, but you know, it's knowledge. And so I find that so fascinating that happens to be your intuition card, the card of intuition. And I think you're gaining power and strength and leadership and strength of character in the fact that your third eye is growing so incredibly well in its intuition and its wisdom and an understanding of the world and how it truly is. And then you've got your crown chakra, okay? And that is that had the death card. And the book from the Lenormand. And this death card is it's not, I mean, it's this version. I loved this version, which is like the version from death, looking out to these patrons, but it's the patrons looking at death. And it's something has to die in your life to and I think this old way of, and it's not, you know, the crown chakra is the culmination of all of this. It's like it moves up through you and then beyond. And so it's a little bit of each of these stories make up for what's about to die. A part of you, and that's exactly what this is. You're in between worlds. You're transitioning from one world and letting that go and letting it die and moving on to the next world, next phase of your life. It's really cool, actually, how that's working out, that was your crown chakra. And that you know, this whole time though, you're always going to have someone with you. And so if you look at this in context with everything together, I love looking at this separately and then context together. I think, wow, I think your self-confidence, your self-esteem is manifesting, is really starting to take off. And whether it's because you feel a new enlightenment in your sacral energy of you're coming out of this isolation, structured ego, loneliness, part of your life, and you've decided to make a new step in this energy of you know, embracing sexuality and embracing creativity, as opposed to thinking it's negative. I think you're a beginner at this root chakra, this, you know, this prosperity. I think this is coming in as a very new energy. Look at that, Child and the Fool. You've got new energy coming in on the lower levels of your chakras. And I think that's, I mean, we're manifesting this new energy coming up from below, and you've got this new commitment going on, and maybe that's what this is all about. It's like maybe this person is someone who is making you look differently at the world, and making you realize that you don't always have to be so shameful or afraid of sex, and you can enjoy it, or you can, you know, you're stepping into a new prosperity with a partner of some sort. But it's definitely a wish come true. And I think this is going to allow you to, in your heart chakra, I think this is going to allow you to become unstuck. And I think this now, as I think about this, it's like you're not going to forget. It's like you're stepping into your queen energy, Queen of Wands energy. But see, she's got her eyes closed, and she's remembering what this felt like, and that she will never forget and never let that happen again. Ooh, that's what I feel like this is with I mean, there's some love going on here that is allowing you to own your femininity. This is the femininity card. To be confident in this new relationship that you have. And then be your queen. And she's never going to forget where she was, where she's been, and where she's going, because this is a remembrance type of energy. And maybe that's, you know, with this throat chakra of standing your grounds and speaking your truth no matter at what cost. Maybe that's part of this new, of letting go, of coming out of the tower. Of coming out of the tower. And stop standing so high and mighty by yourself. Coming down and, you know, getting into touch with earth. I mean, she's barefoot with the grass and really in touch with the earth, but she's remembering all of this and saying to herself, I'm not going to forget who I was, so that, because where I'm going, that's who I am now, but I cannot forget who I was, so that I never let that happen again. And that's part of this wisdom here in your third eye chakra, that you're understanding and you're letting go of this past with the Hanged Man. You're standing up, you're becoming this strength of character bear, and And you're letting go of all of it. This is the final, the crown chakra, and you're letting go of all of it. And book is the other, I don't think I mentioned this, was the last Lenormand card associated with the crown chakra, and that has to do with learning and education and policies and secrets withheld and research. And it's like you're letting go of all of the dogma and the dogmatic practices associated with your past life. And yeah, I think you're well on your way, and I am pumped. I love this new kind of spread. We'll see how this goes. You were my Aries is always my first little guinea pigs. So love you guys. I hope you have a great week, and I hope this helps. Love you. Bye.